First day of summer school. I know I'm gonna kill it, but I'm so nervous. My first class is brain and behavior. It's a psychology course. I'm doing psychology as a minor. I'm nervous because I think this is gonna be the harder class, and this is the class that I'm taking online all summer. But let's just dive right in and let's get set up, starting in literally a minute.
All I gave you was a nicotine addiction and an empty room. Couple life lessons at 22.
First class is done, so it was the full 3 hours. I wasn't sure if it was going to be, but it was definitely the full 3 hours. Today we did a lot of like introduction stuff. We did cover a little bit of intro into neuroscience and like some things about the brain. I'm gonna go over about 25% of my learning objectives. Little sidebar here, whenever I have like a goal I want to do, but I know I'm gonna have to break it down into several steps, I try to always do 25% of the time. And once I've mastered that, I like move my way up. With studying, I feel like it's a bit different. It's not like a goal where you just can add on more. It really just depends on how much time you have. But I think doing 25% of what you want to do is a really great way to A, get started, and B, make significant progress. And especially with studying, they say that it is better to review the material multiple times in smaller batches than just doing longer cram sessions. So that's kind of going to be my strategy this semester. Right now, we're going to go work out. I'm really trying to maintain my working out schedule during school. I've been working out consistently for 6 days a week for the last 2 weeks. Granted, I'm not gonna probably upkeep 6 days a week for the entire summer, but I am doing a challenge right now and it's working for me. And honestly, I find with working out, the more I do it, the easier it is for me to stay disciplined and enjoy it. Once I fall off, it's just easier for me to fall off. And I don't even fall off because I don't want to work out. It's just because it's not routine.
After all the shit I put you through, I don't blame you. I hate me too. Ooh. I've been drinking a little, I've been thinking too much about you. All the time and the love that you gave me.
Absolutely essential for me to sit by a window when I'm studying or doing work on campus. I had my first wine class and it was honestly so interesting. Like I knew it was gonna be interesting, but anytime I take a fun class at UBC, I'm generally reminded that it is still school and that it is still like a university education. But the wine class so far has been good. So we got into like the basics about wine, like the composition, different things about tasting wine. It's going to be a wine tasting class, so I'm very excited about that. This is my first time being on campus during summer. It's busier than I thought it would be. I thought it would be less busy because people always talk about how campus is dead. It's definitely not dead. There's definitely still quite a bit of people here, but in comparison to how many people are like on Main Mall in the fall, big difference. I got some lunch. Oh my god, what are the odds? Well, that happened. I went for a bit of a nature walk, just sitting at like that famous fountain. I don't know what made me decide to sit here, but it's really nice. And I feel like it's just so calming, like hearing the running water. So I'm just like taking a little breather. I forgot how nice UBC is during like the spring months because I've only ever spent one April up here because of COVID and everything, but I'm really loving it and I'm gonna miss the school when I'm done, but I've gone through so much torture that when I'm done, I will be glad to be done. I realized that because I was running late, I didn't have time to show you my outfit, but this is it. It's just a cute little set from Princess Polly, little skirt, top moment. Got my hoodie because I get cold, and UBC is always about like 5 degrees colder than where I live. So I always make sure I have something to keep me warm because it's deceiving up here. It seems like it'd be hot. It's not, but we're close to the ocean, so that's why. I just sat down in Life. This is one of the newer UBC buildings. It has been up for like 5 years. Anyways, this is one of my favorite spots to study at because it's not too loud and it's not too quiet. I personally need some background noise to study. I really can't study in silence because I just can't focus. So I like to come here. It's also nice because I'm sitting right in front of the window, and that's, I think I mentioned that earlier, but I have to study in front of a window. Just, I need to see outside. I need to see the world moving around me, so I kind of like that. And there's also really big tables here. You can sit in like just a chair like I'm sitting in right now. I finally decided to start studying what I learned in class today. Basically how I study for pretty much every course, if it's possible to. I go through the learning objectives. All profs give learning objectives in their slides, and so I basically try to answer them, or I make questions out of those learning objectives and I answer them in flashcards. The reason I do it in flashcards is because a good way to study is taking information and A, putting it in your own words, but B, practicing retrieving the information. Basically, I make the flashcards and then later I usually get like my dad or a friend to read out the like question I've wrote down, and then I try to repeat back the answers. And obviously because I'm using my memory, I can't just say it word for word. I have to use my own words and come up with it on the spot, and that's always been really effective in helping me study. Typically when I study this way throughout the entire course, I tend to get an A in the course. This method has worked for me for years. That's what I'm gonna do for both my psych class and my wine class. In class, I write notes on my iPad and then I type up the flashcards. The reason that I type the flashcards and I don't write them is just because of time. I would prefer to spend less time actually making the flashcards and more time testing myself on them. I don't even know if it's more effective for studying, but it's a more effective use of my time. You only have so much time until the exams, especially in an expedited course. I have like 7 exams in the next 4 months, and I know I need to split my time up between school, social media, and my lifeguard job because it's super busy in the summer. For me, I have to be most effective with time, and if I'm able to get the flashcards done at a reasonable time, I'll be able to do that retrieval practice a lot more. That's like my basic studying strategy for the summer. I will give updates if it changes. There's always changes that happen in a semester, but that's basically what I'm doing right now. So that was a lot of talking, a lot of explaining. I'm gonna go over the learning objectives. We covered it in class today, and so I did say I was gonna only cover like 25% of the content, but when I broke down the learning objectives into questions, that only equaled 5 flashcards, which is more than manageable. Good morning. I did not pick up the camera yesterday. It is Thursday. We're heading back to UBC today, but it is actually 7:30 a.m. I don't have to head down to UBC until 11. We are just picking up some Starbucks coffee. Normally I make my coffee at home, but I had to run to the bank anyways. I'm getting myself an iced oat latte, and I like to add the salted caramel cold foam. It is the best Starbucks drink. I'm also getting food today. I'm getting the sausage cheddar egg sandwich. That is my favorite sandwich at Starbucks. We are headed to school for the day. One thing about me, I cannot go to school without having a little beverage. It usually is a coffee. I doubled up on coffee on Tuesday and it was not the vibe. I don't need a second coffee in the day for a pick-me-up. I feel like my routine has been set up pretty well and I'm energized enough that I don't need a second coffee, but I just like having a fun little beverage in my car. I usually do take sparkling water, but today got myself a little Olipop. So good. These are digestive sodas. They're only sold in the US. I literally brought the can in to show you which one I'm having. I'm having the orange squeeze. I like this one. It's kind of like, almost kind of tastes like a mimosa, except there's obviously no alcohol, but it's like, I don't want to say watered down, but it's like fizzier, lighter. I will say there is a bit of an artificial sugar aftertaste. It's really slight. I personally don't notice it enough to like curb me from drinking them. They're just so good. So we're heading to class right now. This is the wine science class. So the wine science class is on campus, and then the psychology, brain and behavior is online. And I also have my first wine lab today, so I'm very excited. It's not like a wine tasting lab, but it's like a sensory evaluation. And so my mom and I have plans. I'm gonna bring home our favorite wine, and then I'm gonna practice the techniques that I learned in lab today at home with our favorite wine. So I'm really excited for that. I'm not sure what we're covering in class, but you know, I will show you all the topics, of course. That is my favorite part, going over all the wine topics. And I feel like it's just so interesting learning about food, but like wine is like a specialty food. So I feel like it's super applicable to life. While we're walking, I might as well show you my outfit. So it's really cute. I did like a white tank top. I just like put this little sweater over top because I never know if it's gonna be cold or hot here. Then black skirt, my classic, some like frilly socks. I don't know if you can see them, loafers. And also these frilly socks are like really thin. So I like double up. I put like ankle socks underneath.
Nicotine addiction in an empty room. Couple life lessons at 22. After all the shit I put you through, I don't blame you. I hate me too.
We just finished class. I feel like today, like, we covered so much material. I'm walking to the lab. I'm really excited. I don't know what to expect, but this lab is like an intro lab, so it's not like super intense or super exciting, but I will try to film. I don't know how much I'm gonna be allowed to film, so we will see.
I hate me too. You got a new guy, must be your type. Where's a snapback? Guess he's alright. Bet your parents probably love it.
First lab done. It was super fun. It was like really chill. There was no break between the class and the lab, but it was so fun. Time literally flew by. Like, the prof said, or I guess the TA, he said that he'll let us go 2 minutes early, and I was like, it's already over? But it was so fun. The first part of the exercises we did was we had little cup, and there was like food or like butter or herbs or like fruits, like different kinds of foods with different aromas contained in the cups. There was plastic around them, and so that was so we could like squeeze it to like get more of the aroma like loose in the air. I think they call that volatile. I feel like I should know that, being a science major. Then we could like smell them, and then we'd have to like guess according to the chart that was on the screen. There was fruity, and then there was like 2 different kinds of fruits, like berries and then like tree fruits, and then there was woody scents, but like vanilla, chocolate, caramel, those kinds of scents were all like kind of in there too. Then there was herbaceous. There was, what was the other one? There was one, oh, vegetal, and like grass was like that. And then they also had herbaceous, I don't know, there was a bunch, but it was very fun. I enjoyed that. And then we tried like 2 different types of apples, a jelly bean, and some bread. And then we like ranked the acidity of both types of apples, and they were like different, which was like interesting seeing the differences. And then we did the same thing but with sweetness, so it was really fun. I really liked it. It's interesting because I was telling the TA, I was like, I was better than I thought I would be at it, because I knew that my sense of smell isn't like super sophisticated or anything like that. So I was kind of surprised that I got as many as I did. I think I got like, we probably did like 6, and I think I got like 4. Okay, now that I am sitting down, I have taken some time to collect my thoughts, but I'm gonna sign off the video here. Hope you guys enjoyed this little week in my life, first week back to school. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys in the next video.